When I say the word Danganronpa, what comes to mind? Some people would say Monokuma, others would say Nagito Kameda, but for me, it's Fish Island 2. Danganronpa crossovers, a topic that a lot of people surprisingly don't know a lot about. I'm not too sure why, but when I've spoke to multiple people, or multiple Danganronpa fans, they get shocked when I show them a piece of Danganronpa that has appeared in another series. And with the update about a broadcast full of Danganronpa news happening every month, I'm sure we will see a lot more collabs from them, which if any huge ones get announced, they won't be in this video. There is quite a lot of Danganronpa crossovers, some I may not include for being a bit too obscure. For example, a game called Samurai and Dragons, a Vita game that was exclusive in Japan. It had a Danganronpa event where you could collect 2 Monokuma cards and a Monomi card. And that's pretty much all there is to it. It doesn't help that it was only on the Vita and it was Japan exclusive. So I'm pretty sure not many people, or well, a lot of people haven't heard of it. There was also a new collab that was announced at a broadcast, which didn't happen too long ago, with Identity V, a mobile game that has done quite a lot of crossovers before. So collabs like that, for example, I won't be talking about, as I don't see there's a point to, since not a lot of people know about the game or series in question. So like, if I miss any or don't talk about all of them, then that's the reason why, or in case I actually missed one. But with all that out the way, let's talk about some Danganronpa crossovers. So I'll get one of the biggest ones out the way, which is, well, it would surprise a lot of people. Attack on Titan. It's a very popular anime, and it got a game on the 3DS. Well, it's had multiple games, but the game I'm talking about is on the 3DS, and it's called Attack on Titan 2 Future Coordinates. And in this game, you fight different types of titans from the anime, and well, Monokuma is one of those titans. I feel like it's kind of cool seeing this, as it kind of reminds me of Big Bang Monokuma, with how massive it is compared to your character size. And in addition, there's also a Monokuma costume for your character to wear, you know, in case you want to spread the disease as you go. There isn't really a reason as to why this collab is a thing, however, the most likely reason is that Spike Chunsoft published the game, and with that it helps bring ties, or getting ties to Danganronpa. Something I noticed when researching this episode for different Danganronpa crossovers is that a lot of the crossovers came from the release of Danganronpa 1-2 Reload and the anime, which make a lot of sense, as these points within Danganronpa had huge increase within fanbase and interaction for the community. Something I just find a bit interesting is that V3 didn't get any crossovers. Well, it got like 1 or 2, but it did not get as many as Danganronpa 1, 2, or the anime did. It's just something I find really odd, and I'm not exactly too sure why Danganronpa V3 didn't get many crossovers. However, if they do a new game in the future, I'm sure they'll do a lot more crossovers or collabs in the future. But either way, let me start with the crossovers that were present during Danganronpa 1-2 Reload. So first one, which is probably one of the biggest ones for Danganronpa 1-2 Reload, which is Clash of Clans. So first we have one of the biggest ones for Danganronpa 1-2 Reload, which is Crypt of the Necrodancer. I've personally never played this game, however it's a rhythm game, which it looks pretty fun, and on August 23rd, or September for consoles, was a free patch that included Danganronpa skins and music. This game was also published by Spike Chunsoft, so again, no surprise that this collab happened. However, from this collab we got a bunch of playable Danganronpa characters, which include Monokuma, Monomi, Makoto, Hajime, Junko, Chiaki, Ibuki, and Sayaka. And like I mentioned, they have some really cool remix Danganronpa songs in here, so if you haven't given them a listen, I would totally recommend it. Next crossover that was a part of Danganronpa 1-2 Reload was a mobile game only available in Japan by the name of Divine Gate. I'm not too sure if this game is popular or not, since I personally have never heard of it. However, on May 29th, 2015, there was an event including a new art for characters from Danganronpa 1 and 2, and if I'm gonna be honest, these are some really good pieces of art. I've seen a lot of people use them for banners, edits, I've seen a lot of people use them, and every time I see them, it's really lovely to see. But the characters that were involved in this new collab that got new art was Makoto, Tagami, Sayaka, Kyoko, Toko and Genocide Jill, Sakura, Celeste, Chihiro, Junko, Monokuma, Chiaki, Nagito, Ibuki, Gundam, Mikan, Hajime, and then Makoto and Kyoko got a second piece of artwork as well. There was also this like fake Monokuma art for some reason, which I legit don't have a clue on. From my understanding, it's one of the characters from Divine Gate dressing up as Monokuma. However, it just looks really cursed. Out of all these crossovers that I'm talking about in this video, this is probably one of the biggest in terms of new art or just stuff to show, as it has new art for 16 characters, which is kind of crazy since most collabs or most crossovers don't really include that much. This is not how you do a Monokuma costume. There's nothing wrong with it, but like, it just looks so cursed. It's from a PS4 game called Exist Archive, where again, it was published by Spike Chunsoft. This happened yet again in a PSP game called Gotchitora? I think that's how you say it, my apologies. Where you can just dress up as like a full human Monokuma suit, which like I said earlier, there's nothing wrong with this, it just looks very... Sorry, it's just more so the fact that how cursed this looks of seeing Monokuma in a human form. Two other games that included Monokuma costumes that didn't look too cursed was Sonic Omi, which I think I'm saying that right. It was a PS3 visual novel that had equipable Monokuma and Monomi hoodies. There was also Monomi and Monokuma puppets that the character could hold as well. And these hoodies, they look really nice. I would love to see some merch similar to this in real life because I would totally get some. And yes, I do know there is merch similar to this out there, but have you seen my Danganronpa bootleg video? I know the horror is out there, okay? But the other game that included a Danganronpa crossover that a lot of people may be surprised at is Terraria. I'm sure a lot of people have heard of it or played it, but it's a 2D sandbox game. And you could unlock Monokuma and Monomi costumes. However, unfortunately, these are only in the Japanese version of the game. So now let's move on to some Danganronpa anime collabs that took place during the time the anime was airing. Probably the biggest one is a mobile game called Hokai Goten 2. I'm probably saying it wrong, however, it was a Chinese mobile game that introduced some playable Danganronpa characters and included new art for them as well. And these characters were Makoto, Kyoko, Mikan, Ibuki, Nagito, Chiaki, Gundam, and Maya. Something very nice to see is that their anime designs are used since we don't get much artwork for them. Probably the most interesting thing out of this whole thing is that out of all the new characters to introduce, they introduced Maya. There's nothing wrong with Maya, I really like her and she's one of my favorites, design-wise and character-wise, even if she doesn't talk too much. Either way, this collab also brought Monokuma enemies in the game with different types. So now, this way, we have even more Monokumas than the ones we see in Despair Girls, like Burger King Monokuma. In addition, there are different dolls that you could collect, like this Kameda one and this Kyoko one. Oh, and you could also play as Junko, however, Junko was a skin rather than a new playable character. But yes, this did introduce new art for her as well, so that's nice to see. Other collabs with the anime included another Japanese mobile game called Sengoku Asuka. Again, probably saying it wrong. But from my knowledge, it's a card game, and from this we had even more art of Danganronpa characters. This time being Aoi, Chiaki, Ibuki, Mikan, Kyoko, and Junko having two different types of cards. The art here is a bit different than the ones we see as they have completely new clothes and designs to these characters. And I've even seen a lot of fan art out there which include these new designs and clothes for them to wear, and it looks amazing. So it's nice to see that even though this is a crossover that not a lot of people know about, it's influencing different pieces of artwork or fan art out there. And another amazing thing is that within their dialogue scenes, they have backgrounds based on Danganronpa 3, which were the inside of the Future Foundation, the fountain where Hajime and Chiaki met, and the theater scene at the end of the anime. One crossover which is very interesting is an action-adventure game called Kanko Bancho Bros, which the game was basically two brothers trying to become some of the best fighters in Tokyo, and later on within the game you actually come across Mondo and his brother Daya, where the protagonist has to fight them. So it's nice to see Danganronpa have collabs that aren't just Monokuma, since most of the collabs here are just with Monokuma in it, since he is the mascot. So I mentioned at the start about a Danganronpa V3 crossover, which there's only one or two. And the thing is, it actually wasn't a part of a game, but instead it was a part of a live broadcast that was done by PlayStation. It consisted of promotional art of Danganronpa V3 with Gravity Rush 2, as the games were releasing around the same time. And from the details that I know of, it was a playthrough collab where both dev teams for each game would play each other's demos. It's quite interesting for a collab, as I've never really seen a collab where the dev teams play each other's games. Okay, so I think I've saved the best one for last, or like more so the weirdest one for last. Not a lot of people know about this, but in 2013, Danganronpa did a crossover promotion with Ted the Movie. Yes, you heard that right. Ted the Movie. This isn't some type of dumb shitpost joke that I'm making like I always do, this is a real thing. And during this time, Danganronpa wasn't even out in English yet, so... And something even more interesting, or more insulting rather, is they were promoting the Danganronpa animation over the game. Which I think everybody here knows my opinion on the Danganronpa animation. So in conclusion of this whole topic, there is quite a lot of interesting Danganronpa crossovers out there, but most of them aren't really known, and, well, for good reason. Most of them are Japan exclusive, which is a shame honestly that they didn't come to English since there's a lot of Danganronpa English fans out there. But either way, it's interesting to see the different pieces of media that Danganronpa has appeared in. A lot of them just kind of include Monokuma, but some go out their way and include a lot more other stuff to make the crossover more interesting. And I'm not saying crossovers with just Monokuma isn't interesting, and I don't think this is the end of Danganronpa crossovers. I can't wait for more to appear soon, especially with these broadcasts happening every month. Oh wait, okay, wait, what? Oh, okay, so I just got a notification from the Burger King Twitter account. Let me check this out. Oh god, oh. Okay, breaking news, everybody. Monotaro has officially crossed over with Burger King. Who would have thought?